Good morning, students. I am teacher Salunke TB from Sri Shivaji Vidya Mandir and Junior College on Pune. I welcome all of you in this session of English language. Students, in the previous sessions we studied some of the figures of speech from the poems. We discussed the figures of speech like simile, metaphor, alliteration, repetition, and inversion. Students, today in this session we are going to discuss two significant figures of speech, that is paradox and antithesis. So let us start with the first figure of speech. The title of the figure of speech is paradox. So what is paradox? Paradox is a figure of speech in which the statement or the line of the poem appears to be contradictory. Something incredible or unbelievable is mentioned in the line of the poem. That line of the poem is considered or called or labeled as an example of the figure of speech paradox. For example, let us see the line from the first poem, Song of the Open Road, written by Walt Whitman. I read the line, "Still here I carry my old delicious burdens." Students, if you look at this line carefully, this line is an example of the figure of speech paradox, because whatever is mentioned here in this line, it seems to be contradictory or strange. The juxtaposition of the words delicious burdens seems to be paradoxical in this line. In other words, we can say that what the poet says in this line, apparently it seems to be incredible or unbelievable. In this line, the use of words delicious burden creates incredibility. But after further examination or deep thinking, it becomes clear that there is some truth or reason. The word delicious refers to something that is pleasant, and the word burden refers to something that is unpleasant or difficult. But here the poet wants to convey that he is unable to leave his past memories behind. The use of paradox also clarifies that these sweet memories always pull him back from going ahead. Still, the poet decides to continue his journey. He will carry his precious memories in his life's journey. In this way, we can define the figure of speech as something that is contradictory to our expectation. But at deeper level, we find some truth or concrete message the poet wants to convey. Finally, I would like to say that paradox is a statement which seems on its face to be logically contradictory. It turns out to be interpretable in a way that makes sense. Students, in this way, we have discussed the first figure of speech, that is paradox. So let us come to the second figure of speech. The title of the second figure of speech is antithesis. Students, what is antithesis? In antithesis, we have striking opposition in the line of the poem. Sometimes two opposite ideas or thoughts are placed in the line of the poem to secure emphasis. For example, let us see the line from the poem, "Have you own your tomorrow" by Edgar Guest. I read the line, you look at the line. Did you waste the day or lose it? Was it well or sorely spent? This line is an example of the figure of speech antithesis. In this line, there are two opposite ideas, that is well and sorely. The meaning of these two words are in opposition with each other. This is how, when two opposite ideas or thoughts are placed in the same line, that line is considered to be an instance of antithesis. I would like to cite one more example of antithesis from third poem Inchcape Rock by Robert Southey. I read the line, so little they rose, so little they fell. Here also we have the figure of speech antithesis, as there are two opposite words which are two opposite words in this line. The opposite words are rose and fell. Therefore, this line is an example of antithesis. Students, I hope you must have understood both the figures of speech, paradox and antithesis in this session. I will continue some more figures of speech in the next session. So I conclude my lecture here. I stop here. Thank you.